partners got together and started this company called WebVan in 1999, 2000, something like that. And this particular company basically raised $800 million as a startup. And 3 years later, they spent all their money, lost everything, and had to shut it down. So this is kind of a classic case study of how you can have all the money in the world, but you may still not get anything from all that money in 3 years. In 3 years, you could lose everything, right? And Peter Raylan basically is going to be online tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. I contacted him and he's a good friend, and he's going to be online, and essentially, here's your opportunity to talk to somebody who was right there and was involved with starting this amazing company called WebVan, and which was probably ahead of its time, did not understand customers properly, did company development and product development kind of the wrong way, and here's an opportunity to talk directly to the person who was there. And also, after WebVan shut down around 2003 or 4 or something, he started additional companies based on the learnings that he had from starting WebVan, and those became very successful. And he had a very successful startup that he himself did, that was bought by another company called Intuit. Then he basically took all his learnings and has started an incubator called Web, which within 2 years, a company that incubated for $100,000 or $200,000 got bought for $104 million. So made a phenomenal success. And now he's got Engg or something, which is where he's incubating more companies. And you're going to get a chance to see how really failure does not mean that you're a bad person, or you are somebody that is never going to be successful in life. On the consequence, in Silicon Valley, failed entrepreneurs is an asset, because essentially the investors feel that you must have learned a lot of lessons that you'll be able to apply to your next startup. You won't make the same mistakes. You're going to make it more successful. And Silicon Valley is full of companies where you have failed entrepreneurs who then ultimately become the most successful entrepreneurs out there. So here is we're going to have Peter Raylan that we're going to be talking to directly. Okay, so the key thing that we're going to study today is how's product developed in big companies versus small companies. So has anybody got any ideas to how products are developed in a big company?
Sir,
Yes.
so the ideas are proposed, then they are tested. There is a test run, there is a beta product, and that is again developed. There are iterations.
Yeah.
Finally, according to the market needs, it is launched.
The prime need is consumer feedback. They go in every stage to the consumer and say,
No, it's in a big company.
okay, they don't do that.
That's the difference. Actually, that is exactly the difference. Basically, in a big company, so when I was working at Intel, for example, I was something called a product manager. I worked there from 1980 to 87 or something. So 6 years I worked there in marketing. And there, the way a product is developed is the following, which is a product manager, first the CEO or the general manager writes the vision of the division, that he's going to be the leader in high integration microprocessors. So that's a good vision that he comes up with. Then it goes to the marketing group, that vision, and they say, okay, let's find out what products we can develop which will allow the company to achieve that vision. And so in 1984, the vision was to create a complete personal computer on a single chip. So we integrate everything that's there into a single chip. And the marketing comes up with that product definition. We write a whole spec, 150, 200 page specification of how it's going to do it and who's going to buy it and all that stuff. By doing research with the customer and the salespeople and the competition and everything. So you write the spec. Then you throw it over the wall, so to speak, to engineering. And in our particular case, we created the single chip PC concept, and we asked engineering to do it. And the general manager said, what is the most cost-effective engineering? In our particular case, and who's available? So there was a team sitting in Japan, Intel Japan, that was available to do the project. And so the entire 200-page spec was sent over to IBM Japan, to Intel Japan to develop. And it takes about 2.5 years to design the chip. And so these, we had about 200 engineers working on developing the single chip PC, and it looked fantastic because on paper it would, I showed a PC being this big, it would become this big, and it's going to bring the cost down, and this performance will go up. All the benefits were there that marketing would think of. So engineers started designing this particular product, and then 2.5 years later, they said, okay, our basic design is done, and let's start testing it. So another separate group of people started testing the product. And we also, marketing and sales also started going out to IBM and everybody, and started saying, look, we've got this amazing chip coming. We have PowerPoint slides, how we take a big board, make it into 3-inch by 3-inch board, and the manufacturing costs will go down, and all the benefits were going to be there. So I remember that Dell, IBM, HP, Compaq, everybody started projects to build a PC based on this new Intel chip, which would be a single chip PC in 1984. And all the engineers, and my application engineers wrote all kinds of specification of how all the signals would be coming out of the pins and how it interface with memory and peripherals and everything. So, already the beta customers have started designing the product based on a paper spec. The design engineers have finished off the design on that spec, and then application engineers and test engineers are writing test applications to check whether the chip works properly. And then what we found is that after the chip came out 2.5 years later, that the test engineers would find problems, and then engineering would have to go and fix the problem. And every time they fixed it, we found that there were more problems that were uncovered. So basically, the chip was just not coming to where it would actually work. And after 2 more years of just testing and iterating between test and design, management said that, came to the decision that this chip would never work. And here, all these big companies had invested millions of dollars and had stopped other projects to build this PC, and all of a sudden we had to, I had to turn on my job to go and tell everybody that, this chip is not going to come out, and we are going to stop the manufacturing of that particular chip. And so you can see that, probably lost at least $200 million in product that never came out. And the main reason was that, everything was done in a cell. The design was sitting in Japan. There was language problems communicating with them. They were insular in their approach, they don't talk to anybody when they're designing. There is no communication back and forth, and there is no ability to, respond to changes that are happening in the marketplace. And marketing is happily sitting around saying, okay, we want to get the world's best chip coming out in 2.5 years. Let's go ahead and get a customer started, etc. And finally after about 4 years, we had to shut the project down, tell the customer, and obviously the customers hate you for that.
What happens in this case to the investors? What happens in this case to the investors? The money they have invested?
Well, basically, Intel salespeople had to give some discount on things, because they could still do the PCs with their older chips that Intel had got. And everybody had to change back to the older chips. And there was a next generation PC based on the older chips, which were not as highly integrated and so on. So, they all had to, Intel would have to give them some sort of price break. So you've got to make up with the customer. So again, these are all expenses that Intel has to bear in order to, still keep the relationship with the customer going. So, this is a first-hand example of something that I went through myself about what happens when you develop a product where you don't have continuous connection between everybody, the marketing people, the salespeople, the customers, and you're continuously iterating as to what's going on. So if you have engineering that basically says, don't bother me while I'm developing the product, that's when, as founder and CEO of my future startups, I said, now I really need to know what's going on. So if they tell me that, I'm too busy to tell you what's going on, that's when my flag goes up and I say, I really need to know what's going on. So it doesn't matter if your project is going to be delayed by 4 hours or 8 hours or whatever, but I need to know what's going on. So when people actually hide, there's a good chance that you really want to get the job done. So as management and as a founder, you would have to also have the ability to judge when somebody really needs time, or he's just trying to protect himself from being exposed because he cannot solve a problem and he just wants, more time than he doesn't want to have. People's egos come in the way of actually, sharing their problems. And when you are in a startup, you cannot have people's egos come in the way, and you've got to create a culture where it's transparent. It's an open organization where hey, we all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses. Everybody's got strengths and weaknesses, and there's nothing wrong with having a weakness. The key point in a startup is to maximize the strength of everybody, and whatever weaknesses there, solve it some other way. So in this particular case, the Japanese, as you find out when you study some cultural stuff, are kind of insular. They are very conscious of their ego, and they don't want to have a half-finished job where people can find problems with the design and so on. So they are very protective, and that was a learning that Intel got. So afterwards, they would never have 100% project that was done in Japan. So the Japanese engineers would be put along with American engineers, or Israeli engineers, or Indian engineers, because they've got design centers everywhere. So the whole project was done, but everybody has to talk with everybody. There's more reporting on a regular basis, more reviews, and more good stuff. So big companies, and Webvan is a classic case where basically everybody was making decisions in their own silo. It's called a silo. Silo is, when you store food in a granary, it's It's called a silo. You know, these are tall buildings where you just put everything in there. And then nobody knows what's happening inside that silo. And if the person who's managing the silo is very protective, and in business industry you find a lot of people who are very protective of their domains, they cause a lot of potential problems. They're trying to be efficient, but that efficiency itself can cause major problems to the organization. So basically, you know, this is, I'll be sending you these slides, as I said. So if you look at this, the key message that I was giving was that essentially it's a linear process. You go from concept, where marketing wrote their specification for the single chip PC, went through the development phase, went through the testing, and everything is done sequentially. And when you do this, and you know, and as you read this, you'll see that it goes into a lot more detail as to what goes on, and it describes something called the waterfall process. So this is called the waterfall process. Essentially, like, you know, marketing writes the requirements, it goes into design, it goes into implementation, verification, and then maintenance, yeah. So basically it goes